Well, now more from the front lines of California's controversial family court system. We've been reporting on parents who say the court punishes them for even reporting child sexual abuse. Gina Silva's here with our series, Lost in the System. Gina.
Well, Laura, tonight we have the story of Deanne Salcido, a former family court judge who's speaking out. She admits to making a terrible mistake as a judge. She talks about that and also what really goes on behind the bench.
It's a jungle, it's a circus, and there's no ringmaster to speak of. It's a $1 million industry at which the public, the average citizen's interest is lost.
Former Judge Deanne Salcido, now a whistleblower. She says family court is a circus, and so is the training in judges' school, especially for child abuse cases.
What I was trained on was to be suspicious of women who brought claims of abuse during a divorce matter. I was told that repeatedly in my first year as a judge, both in training at Monterey County for the new judges school. So not just me, but a whole classroom of new judges in family court.
So they were training you to be more suspicious of women.
They said be suspicious of the timing of abuse cases, which predominantly it was women. And their mentality was you have to make sure that they're not just trying to be bitter because the husband or the boyfriend has moved on or brought a new girlfriend into the scene.
How did that change you? How did that change how you ruled?
Well, I have to admit, I can think of one case in my first year that I made a mistake on, and that mistake continues to haunt me.
That case? Joyce Murphy's custody dispute. Murphy told Judge Salcido that her husband was sexually abusing their daughter. Salcido didn't buy it. She gave custody to the father, Henry Bud Parson.
I was following that be suspicious of the timing of abuse claims mantra that I was trained on.
Years later, Parson was convicted of molesting 2 preteen girls, his daughter's friends.
It hurts my heart right now talking about it. It's the thought of one child having to suffer another day, let alone for more years, and then another child was molested. But at the time I made that decision, I could not have been a judicial officer more than 6 to 9 months. And I had the benefit of less than 40 hours of family law training, none of which included how to investigate child sexual abuse claims. But by the time I realized what I had done wrong on that case, I had already started to put the pieces of the puzzle together on my own.
Salcido says the problem started with Child Protective Services, known as CPS. She says in her court, CPS investigations of parental child abuse were almost never conclusive. Most claims left unsubstantiated.
I had a friend off the record tell me, who worked at CPS, that if CPS were to make a claim that affected somebody's custodial rights, they were worried about lawsuits.
So in essence, they will put a child in danger because they don't want to be sued or get in trouble?
Correct. And CPS also has a policy where, if a child is considered school age, they don't want to necessarily remove them from the home and put them in foster care because that increases their budget needs, which means taxpayers pay more. And so what I found is this justice system is about dollars, and it's not about justice.
And it gets worse.
At judges' meeting, I heard judges talk about, oh, she was just having a bad day. That wasn't a real domestic violence incident. She was probably on her period. So we have misogyny.
You're kidding me. These are judges?
These are judges at a judges' meeting.
More on that from former Judge Salcido in the next report in our series, Lost in the System.
Salcido says when she didn't play ball, other judges turned on her. She resigned in 2010. She was censured by the California Commission on Judicial Performance, accused of hamming it up in court to try to get a court TV reality show. Now, she tells us the complaints are just retaliation for speaking out. So once she decided to complain and not go by the rules, that's when everything went wrong.
So it's actually come back to hit her a bit in a negative way.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt. And we're going to have more on her.